I'm Utah Ike. I'm from Happy, Texas. I was born in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I grew up on ranches in Texas, New Mexico, back and forth. I had to grow up faster than most kids my age did, working with my dad and going with him. Usually I was the only kid. I had to fit in with the men. But it was fun. It was a good experience. It taught me a lot of life lessons like respect, hard work, having to work for stuff and not being handed to you, and going without things that the kids in town went with. So growing up on a ranch, we had a lot more freedom than the kids in town did. We got to drive around, get turned loose and go do whatever we wanted to. Is where all the kids had to stay at the house and, I don't know, play video games or whatever they did. And I mean, just riding horses and going with my dad. I don't get to enjoy nature more than someone that was in town would. And another thing is the responsibility that we had out there. I mean, we were always shooting guns and driving without our parents at a young age. I mean, we had to be responsible and know, how to safely do those things. And I think a lot of kids in town wouldn't know what to do in some of those situations. And something that moving around a lot taught us is, meeting new people and how to make friends somewhere new. And I don't know, we always enjoyed it. We got excited. New adventure, new people, new country to see. And I don't know, I was always excited to go and see somewhere new, meet new friends. And sometimes it was hard. Whenever you'd been somewhere long enough and established a good amount of friends, good lifelong friends, it's hard to leave them sometimes. But it's always good to go and meet more lifelong friends. I'm still friends with everybody from places that I've lived, and I feel like I've got a lot more friends than a lot of people do because of it. I don't know, it makes someone appreciate culture more too, going different places and seeing, as to where eastern New Mexico is to the panhandle of Texas. You wouldn't think it, but the culture changes a lot between here and there. And you learn how to be around different people and kind of fit in with them. My sophomore, yeah, okay. My sophomore year of high school, we moved back to New Mexico to the Bell Ranch, and it's a fairly large ranch, and it was pretty neat getting to go see where my dad grew up, and just seeing the new country over there. It's a lot of different kinds of country. Um, and the history of the ranch was cool, which I think a lot of people, like kids raised in town that lived in the same town, the same house their whole life, wouldn't really appreciate. But being so, I've been cultured more, I guess you could say. It made me appreciate the history of the ranch, and and getting to go see the different things, like the old Mexican villages and stuff, and getting to just go hunt and enjoy nature, really. It's pretty cool.
Talk about why you think it's better to be raised in an agriculture background, which you already kind of have, but you can go a little more in detail.
Yeah.
If you repeat it, it's fine. But talk about why it's better to be raised like we were, like pros and cons of each. Like even talk about things that maybe we didn't get to do that
Right.
the kids in town did.
So, in my opinion, I think a lot of kids, which not necessarily just ranch kids, like stock show kids and things like that, can agree with me. Just the responsibility that you're taught, taking care of animals and having to get up in the morning and go take care of them. I mean, it's work constantly, and it's another animal you have to keep alive. And I think kids in town just, which they have responsibilities too, but it's just, I don't think it's as important in some ways. Which, I mean, I didn't really get to play sports or something like a kid in town did, and I think that would have been fun, but I mean, I was learning more valuable life lessons at home, which at a young age I wanted to play sports, but as I got older I quickly realized that I would rather be at the ranch riding horses or helping my dad work, you know.
Talk about whenever we moved to Canaan for that brief period and how we were like in shock of like we couldn't go play in the front yard.
I lived in town once. I don't like the town.
One time I lived in town. I remember how we go play in the
Yeah.
front yard in that first year.
But I'd lived in town one time in my life, and I was pretty young. I bet I was 5 or 6, and I remember moving in. My sister and I, we ran out into the backyard, if that's what you wanted to call it. It was about a brick patio this big, and I remember we were just devastated because we were used to having thousands of acres to go run amok and do whatever we wanted, and we were pretty heartbroken over that. Had to go play cars on the bricks in the patio, but we made do, and eventually we got to go back to a ranch and get turned loose again.
I think we're almost done. Just which like you've already you summed it all up pretty much in one sentence, but just to like close out, talk about why you're grateful. Talk about why you're grateful for your childhood and you know that like how it's made you like more of a man. Easy with the microphone.
Okay.
Just start like all in all, you know, like over the, you know.
Yeah. But growing up on ranches, I think, has made me mature and appreciate things more. And I'm just thankful because I look at a lot of my friends that grew up in town. They're, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say less mature, but they are in some ways. They haven't had to work, and they don't have the work ethic as I do sometimes. And I don't know, it's just made me appreciate the little things, you know, and the opportunities that I've had and still get because of the background that I've grown up in and the people I've got to meet and the connections. I think it's really put me ahead in life. Ta-da, I'm done.
Ta-da.
You know, you can have fun splicing that together.
I just hope I got enough.
Surely.